Let's speak to one of the residents who lives near the area. Residents from Queen Edith's ward, where the roundabout is being built, attended an area committee meeting last night, so we can maybe get some info on that. Sam Davies, hello.
Good morning, Kev.
You're you're a resident of the area. You're a member of Smarter Cambridge Transport and chair of Queen Edith Community Forum. What's it been like living near these roadworks so far, since September last year?
Yeah, well, obviously the fact that the roundabout itself isn't flowing because it has temporary lights on it has meant a lot of traffic backing up on Mowbray Road and Fendon Road. And that's causing problems, I think, with air quality and noise pollution and so on. It's also caused a huge amount of rat running through the neighbourhood. And obviously that's very unpleasant for people as well.
So with those two things said, you want this work completed sooner rather than later. So your reaction to these delays, that it's not going to be done by April, it's going to be done by the summer?
Yeah, my reaction would be a sigh, I think, because I always expected it to overrun, frankly. This is a neighbourhood that had the experience of the cycleways on Hills Road going in a few years ago, and we were told would take 9 months and took 2 years. So there is a precedent for significant overrun on infrastructure projects locally.
So you went to the meeting last night. What happened there?
Two officers from the county council came along, and there was I thought, relatively measured discussion of a 125% overrun on the cost of the project. I mean, I think it is the cost side of things, actually, that has people asking more questions than the time overrun, and what the implications of the cost overrun on this project will be then for others which were also supposed to be funded from the same pot of money, whether those are going to happen or not now.
And the increase is staggering. £800,000 budget when the project began. Now costs are an estimated £1.8 million.
Yeah. I mean, the question I asked at the meeting last night was, obviously they did some kind of cost-benefit analysis to justify the spending of 0.8 million on it. Did the numbers still stack up if your cost is now increased by that degree? The whole kind of cost-benefit side of this has not been very transparent from the start, and I think probably looks even more dubious at this point. So the officer did go away and say she would try and find some cost-benefit data to publish, but it's all a bit after the horse was bolted.
Well, we do have a statement from the Cambridgeshire County Council, which we'll read in a second. I just wanted to ask you this, though. Once this improvement work has finished, do you envisage for residents a much happier place?
Well, obviously, the removal of the construction site will help, but I think the description that your reporter gave about how this is going to function indicates quite how complex and unusual it is. The county council seem to be very excited by the fact that this is the first Dutch-style roundabout in the UK. It frankly makes me extremely nervous because in that location you have a lot of drivers who are running late heading for appointments at Addenbrooke's, or who are going in to see someone who's been admitted to Addenbrooke's. They may have travelled from 40 miles away, and my concern is that they simply won't know how to handle that roundabout. And as a cyclist who uses it quite regularly, I am slightly apprehensive about the idea of just expecting motorists give way to me as I suddenly appear on their left-hand side.